Well, here's the Village Vista Trail, which I just walked up from Greenwood Lake. And here's the first marker that I will be traveling on as I turn north. And the goal is to get to Connecticut, roughly 100 miles away. This is my farthest hike by far I will have taken. Last summer, I took my first through hike through New Jersey, 75 miles. But it was broken up into two pieces, two parts. So the goal here is to go straight in a week to Kent. Been looking forward to this for some time. It's July 3rd and it's about 8:45 in the morning. So I've walked about a little over 2 miles since beginning the hike. I've just completed what's called Section 13 of New York State, crossing 17A, and the walk's been just very pleasant, very even. No real ups and downs at all. And very lovely day today. Probably around 80, not that bad humidity. So I'm very fortunate to have a day like this for hiking. Here's the view, first view of the eastern pinnacles. Lovely, lovely view and lovely day. This is called Cat Rocks. You can see it's very steep, jagged, and you can see where it gets its name. Cat Rocks. Cat Rocks. Fitzgerald Falls, really wonderful. Got myself some water from the falls, and I'm going to be eating here, snacking here for a bit. So I'm walking up the steps just to the side of the falls, the Fitzgerald Falls. What a lovely, lovely spot this is. Oh, I could spend all day just relaxing if I had the time. Just above Fitzgerald Falls. So as I'm hiking, I'm noticing a lot of trees are down. I have no knowledge of this. My guess is that these trees may have been chopped down, man-made, so to speak. But a lot of them are all stripped from the bottom, of any vegetation, as you can see. And that's on both sides of the trail. So I'm just kind of curious, did something in fact happen here? Maybe a little fire, or was this for some reason just a cleanup by the trail maintainers. But you can see trees down all over the place here. Well, time to walk through a boulder field. At a nice overlook. Here's what they call an escarpment, just a little ledge, a very, underneath which is a very sheer and steep fall off. But the trees in front of me make it feel like less of a fall off from this ledge. Anyway, it's a very nice view. I think the nicest, one of the nicer expansive views of the day, just below the summit of Buchanan Mountain, which didn't really have a clear view at the top. Well, I'm in the midst of navigating a maze of boulders and branches, and I'm telling you, there was absolutely no clear. It was very difficult to find the signage to know how to come up this way. I'm looking back from where I came at this point. As I turn around to where I'm going, you can get a sense of just how steep this is. It's almost straight up, basically. I don't know why the trail's done this way, but it's going to be quite a challenge and a very slow process. But that's part of the trail. Well, I just crossed East Mombasha Road, just a very narrow paved road, and now 3/10 of a mile from there, you see a little impromptu kind of bridge, some boards and some boulders across what's called Little Dam Lake, which extends this way, which is south, for quite a while. It wraps around. I'll be walking around it on the perimeter. It looks like, I'm guessing, a beaver dam here, my guess. And what you see over here. Little Dam Lake here. You see some lily pads, I guess you'd call them, along the edge. Lovely. I'm a couple miles away from Route 17. I'm on a ridge that I have walked to countless times over many years. This is the spot I would always walk to when I first discovered the Appalachian Trail. I would park at Route 17 and I'd walk here. So it's a very special spot for me. This is the first view in the direction of Ramapo River Valley and Harriman Park, which is beyond that. You can perhaps hear the cars from the thruway, New York Thruway. And I'm about to begin a 500-foot descent in a matter of like 0.3 miles. It's called Agony Grind. It's something that requires a lot of attention, certainly safe enough if you pay attention to what you're doing. Here's a glimpse at the beginning of this Agony Grind. You can see it goes pretty much straight down. So here we go. As you can see, it's incredibly painstaking and slow moving to go down this section, agony grind, as it has been in a number of parts of this overall New York section. It's been a very slow-paced day for me. This is the last, I think it's the last white marker for today. I think it is. No, there's one more up ahead. I'm wrong. As I walk out of the woods after about 11 hours of walking and about 15 miles, so the pace was really half the pace that I would normally keep, I think, on the trail, roughly. Very rigorous trail sections that required very careful methodical attention that you had to go very slowly on. But I'm emerging now onto Route 17 and we'll see a sign for Harriman State Park. Walking 2.1 miles on the road, something I dreaded doing, but for a whole series of reasons, it's a decision that I made to spend the first night in a motel. I might share those reasons later, but it's going to take about 45 minutes of road walking to get there, but that's the decision I made, and I stand by it. But the mountain part of the day is over. I walked, including the .9 from Greenwood Lake up on the Vista Trail to the Appalachian Trail. It was 14.9 miles in the woods, and now 2.1 to the hotel I'll be staying at, which will bring it to 17 miles for day one. So I'm crossing the bridge over the New York Thruway, as you can see. Walk the 2 miles plus from the motel, then you get to this bridge. I'll be entering what's called the Elk just parking lot, and then I'll be going up a hill that will lead me to Island Pond, which is a beautiful pond. I can't wait to get there. The path from the Elk parking lot, and in just literally a minute it'll bring me to these into the woods here, and I'll be climbing up that hill, up and over, and getting into Island Pond.
Second snake of the day.
Yeah, what'd you see before?
Is it a garter or a ribbon snake? I think it's a ribbon snake, but
What color does that have on it?
it's kind of like that color with 2 yellow lines going all the way down the back.
Cool. I've never seen a snake like this.
It's a little different.
How about that? Think of that little girl trying to kiss the lion. He was just.
Well, here's the famous or infamous lemon squeezer coming up anyway. Let's see if I could possibly videotape this. I don't know if I can. Here's a look inside. tough to do with no hands, really. And I am through. So here's a spot where that boulder straight in front of me. And if you look, I'll move it in closer. You can see that that's the boulder right in the center. I have to scale. I don't know how to do it. So I'm going to have to take what's called the easy way, which is basically a walk right around these boulders here. I just don't know how to get in there over that. So, we're actually at a shelter, the fingerboard shelter. And it's a very nice looking shelter, recently rebuilt. It's a nice setting as I face the camera towards what you'd see from the shelter, really lovely scene, rolling hills and so forth. But there is one little problem for me, and that is that if you read these pages, this log, you will see, here's an example, bear in the area came poking his nose into tents. I've seen other sections where the bear came into the, people wrote that the bear came into the shelter itself. Someone wrote, we need a bear box. Every single page has stories, every page about the bear. I assume it's one bear for several months. So as much as I would be excited to see a bear in a safe setting, this is not one place I would stay. Okay, we're at an overlook, looking over Silver Mine Lake, a few miles from the Connecticut Parkway. I don't know if you can see it, but the New York City skyline is out there. Here, let me get the seat for you.
I don't like doing like a bill with anything, so I had a graduation.
It's not what it was.
It's not even a real mountain.
You have to turn off the side.
Have a straw. That's right. Thank you.
Going downhill.
Say about a string.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to stay with them there after lunch. Choo! Yeah, really easy.
Bear Mountain. And here's the view.
They're not poisonous though, the body?
Pleasant River.
Well, wouldn't she have to have one before it could be fed?
Well, it's Friday, July 7th. Just to recap quickly, over two days and a little bit more on the third day, kind of a Nero day, as they call it, I was able to walk from Greenwood Lake to Bear Mountain. But I felt real exhaustion on all levels at that point, having reached that. And the through hiker I walked with, named Bullseye, he emphasized that this section that I just described was for him perhaps the hardest section on the entire trail. He's a northbounder, so that at least made me feel somewhat better that I hadn't been too weak about it. But I was exhausted. I came to this motel I'm in now, the Bear Mountain Bridge Motel, and I rested up since then. So now it's Friday morning. Yesterday I took a 0 day, and now I'm ready to get back and challenge myself to continue and complete the rest of New York State, which is about 52 miles to go. So it's a little bit of a rainy, wet day, but it's cooled off, and whatever it is, that's okay. So here we go. Well, I couldn't take any pictures while I was walking across this bridge because I am extremely afraid of heights, open heights. And as you're walking to cross it, obviously you're crossing on one end of the bridge, on a lane, a very narrow lane. It's perfectly safe, obviously, but with my fears, I did not want to take any chances of getting nervous. So I crossed it. We see rush hour traffic. It's 8 in the morning, Friday, July 7th, and I'm officially heading north in this direction. Well, we've come to this turnoff from the road off of the bridge, and now, as you can maybe see, maybe you can tell, it's going to be a very steep ascent before I then get to do, hopefully, some more leveled walking. Still raining, but now that I'm in the trees, I won't gain so much of the brunt of it. Well, I just wanted to give you a sense. It's still pouring out, as you can see. Just stopping for a moment. The trail's up ahead here. Been walking about 3 miles, a couple miles over since passing the bridge. It's really okay with this umbrella, which was an awesome decision. Makes all the difference psychologically having that coverage, and but it is quite the rainstorm. So just show you, it's basically it is a river right now. The trail is a river. You either have to walk in the water, or if you want to kind of hop around from side to side, which is not viable. That's what I'm walking in now. I have been for some time. Opportunity to get away from your daily routines in a way that can be difficult, if not impossible, during your regular routines. So kind of removing yourself from that, the responsibilities and routines, and giving yourself a little bit of space, or maybe a lot of space, to really let thoughts or feelings come in, and if they want to, and explore them a little bit without unrushed, just in a more natural way. So experience, introspection. The other thing, honestly, for me is challenging myself. I want to learn. This trail teaches me things about what I'm capable of, what I think I am, and then maybe I challenge that notion and maybe even break it down and build back up a new one that's maybe has a bigger, wider view of what I'm capable of. So, which is definitely happening on this trip. As I have decided today to resume, even in the midst of a heavy downpour, to resume my initial plan of walking to Connecticut through New York. And there were moments I was feeling I was not going to be able to do that over the last day or two. So, yep, a lot's going on. A lot of wonderful things are are open to a person when they take a hike like this. I'm very grateful for that. This is the fifth one of these little guys I've seen in less than an hour. I don't know if the rain's bringing them out or this is a hatching season or what it is. They're all over the place. So just thinking about my question earlier and why I'm doing this hike. I wanted to add a couple other things. One is, if I didn't really mention it last time, the sense that there's a sort of adventure to it. I mean, to some extent, I know what's up ahead. In that I've scouted a few of these stretches, and also, there's only so much variability that can happen, but you never know what's going to happen. The terrain does differ. You don't know what animals you may or may not meet, what people you may meet, weather, the whole thing. You're constantly adjusting to all these things and responding to them. So yes, there is adventure. And the other thing is, I think just the fact of the act of walking itself, for me at least, has a calming feel to, I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but there's something about it that I think sort of is part of who I am, a walker, if you will. So if you're going to be a walker, it's fun to walk to new and interesting places, like in the woods here. So to continue the trail. So here you see just some evidence of a former settlement here, obviously, with all these stones piled up. I'm not sure of all the details, what the economy was exactly, and what the settlement situation was exactly, but this is going on and on, this wall of rocks, so clearly it's here from some historic purpose a while back. Well, it's Saturday morning, July 8th. It's the sixth day of my journey, counting the 1-0 day. And here's the entrance into the forest as I leave Dennytown Road. I move, it'll be 3.7 miles towards Route 301 and Canopus, and the southern end of Canopus Lake. It's 9 o'clock, late start, but I slept. I slept fairly well, and certainly far better than I ever have in the woods, so I'm very pleased by that. That's the most important news for me so far today, that I slept. We're going to see where we're going to go. It's going to be a judgment call when I get to the next shelter, which is the RP8 shelter, about 10.7 miles actually from the spot. And I'll have to see what time it is and whether I can go beyond that or not. The next one I think is like another 9 miles, which would be an extreme push for me. But we'll see what time it is at that point. The day is somewhat humid, but it's not too hot. I'd say it's maybe 80, low 80s. Love these ferns. I assume that's what they are. Still walking towards Route 301. So this is cool. This is actually a very narrow railway where mules would draw ore to be brought from whatever site they were finding it. They brought the ore to Dennytown Road, where I was camping, and then they would go up a few miles to Cold Spring. This was built in 1862. Very cool. Well, this is Canopus Lake, and this is Route 301. So this is the end of the section I just did, 3.7 miles from Dennytown Road. It's a beautiful lake. There's enough access to it that I can see unless you walk, you get to walk like a mile or more in some direction, so I'm not going to be doing that. Alright, so heading up the hill on 301 and back into the woods. So this is obviously a patriotic flag here, and top of Shenandoah Mountain. Here we're looking east. Pretty sure that's at the Connecticut Parkway you might be hearing in the background, the cars. Almost exactly 3 miles from, actually less than that, a little under 3 miles to the campsite that I'm looking to get to. It's dark here, literally in a matter of a minute or two. There's been thunder and the sky is obviously darkened, but it's incredible how fast it got dark, and it's not even near sunset. It's, I don't know, about 5 o'clock or something. Never seen any change like that in the sky. I think it's going to start to rain any second now. Very close to the shelter. Hello. Hello. So this is a beautifully built bridge that leads directly to the shelter I stayed at last night. I just came back here to filter some water from the creek here. So I wanted to show you the bridge. And just a moment ago I saw a deer up here. 2 deer. It's a lovely shelter too. Well, just leaving the shelter, just a couple tenths of a mile up a steep road. And you are at the Connecticut State Parkway. Of course, I will be going underneath the bridge, as you can see momentarily. Well, this section, since crossing into Connecticut, has been lovely. By far my favorite part of New York. I would say the track, as you can see, well, right here it's a little rooty actually. The track has been very, very, minimal in terms of the roots and rocks overall, and it's just been a lovely walk. Maybe partly because the day is so nice, low humidity, but the woods have been beautiful. Highly recommended section. So merging out of the woods onto Route 52. And I'm taking a right turn here because I know there's a deli half a mile down the road, which I will use for my first meal of the day, and I'll make it a to-go meal also. Well, just got off of a 2-hour break, much longer than I would have wanted, in a local deli here off Route 52 in Stormville, where I ate to my heart's content, refilled my water bottles, charged my phone, and dried my soggy clothes from yesterday's storm and from all the hiking. So we've got about 12 miles to go. It's 12:30, so it will be challenging. I've got probably 6 hours of hiking, and I obviously want to get to the site shelter before dark, but that'll give me a 2-hour window. And the hiking on this trail looks just as nice as the last section. Let's hope it keeps up. This is an overpass over Route Interstate 84. Crossing the footbridge just past 84. This is the water source I just got. A wonderful source. Look at that. Just beneath, make sure that upstream, feeding right into this beautiful spot, and then downstream, and you can see there's a bridge that goes right over it. And this is just perfect water, it seems like, and I really needed it, because after this I didn't know exactly what I was going to do until I got to camp 4.5 miles from here, 5 miles from here, and I would have figured something out. I'm sure there was some option open up, but this resolved all the issues and filled up the water container in a matter of seconds. Crossing old Route 55. There'll probably be a new Route 55 just up ahead. I'm pretty sure there is, from memory, from a day hike I took. We'll see. So this is, I guess you'd certainly call it new Route 55, or just Route 55. People for a few cars here. And then they'll be crossing over right there and into the woods for the last 4.5 miles of today. Just an interesting aside, I'm thinking about this, that I did a number of what I'd call scouting day hikes in New Jersey last year for the Jersey section, and now this year, and then this year for the New York section. But I am now in a section and in New York, which I have never been on, and everything I walk on at this point forward north in New York, and then as I move forward in the future, hopefully Connecticut, Massachusetts, etc., none of that have I, it'll be all new for me. That's very exciting. There's one little strip of a few miles in Vermont where I, near a car pull-off, where I've in the past did a couple miles on the trail, but really without that exception, everything now is going to be fresh and new, which is really exciting to me. Dutchess County, as seen from the peak of West Mountain. sound like, I assume, cows. This is a very long boardwalk. I love it. Just wanted to comment, as you can see here, that it's not consistent, but a lot more of the track, if you will, the path has a much more limited number of rocks and I mean, you can see them now coming right back here, but there's more stretches where you get relief from them in this northern part of the state. We got a bridge over a marshy area, swampy area. I love this kind of thing. It says it's called Swamp River, for good reason, I'm sure. I think we're making a transition here from the bulrushes to obviously some huge corn. Wow, way, way taller than me. What is that? 8, 9, 10 feet. This might be my favorite part of the whole trail. This whole last section from the Dover tree up to here, which is roughly 3 miles, has possibly been the nicest stretch that I like the most in the entire trail. No ascents at all. Farmland, walking on these boardwalks they call puncheons. This is the longest one by far. Sounds of cattle and other animals, birds and so forth. Beautiful. Well, that's the Appalachian Trail sign for the stop here, right on the route. But I just finished walking on that puncheon through Swamp River. What an incredible spot to have a stop. You can get here from New York City. You can see why they chose this beautiful stopping point. Walking on Route 22, going to towards Tony's Deli, half a mile for my first meal today. Well, I just walked over this passage over an electrified fence, but anyways, I turn here and look at that water tower. I'm going to make it closer in now. For some reason, I just find that so beautiful. I just love that. Against the sky. Beautiful blue sky and the clouds. You got some wildflowers too. This is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. Soon we're talking wheat here, wheat field. I could just walk all day in this. I can walk all day in this. Well, this is close quarters. Path seems not to be well traveled. Guess it's a make your own path section. Oh, got some nasty stuff here. Wow. This, well, yeah, I'm sure this will end soon. Well, it's part of the trail, gotta accept it. Everything you have here is part of the trail. Well, at this point, back in the woods, what I've been used to for most of the trip, but again, the path is so much, look how nice this path is. I can walk smoothly and so forth, no rocks, no real rocks, tons of roots. Anyways, I am at a point where I would strongly estimate that I am about 5 miles, give or take a very short amount, about 5 miles from the border of Connecticut. It's a beautiful day, couldn't be a nicer day. We're coming for you, Connecticut. Oh, this is a part of a long punch in across this swampy area. So this is called Dual Hollow Road, and it's significant because this begins the final mile of this state of New York towards Connecticut. What a great final mile. Well, sitting in a motel here, as you can see, the day after the end of my trip through New York. And this may or may not be the best time to think about what the trip meant because I'm so exhausted. Even though it was just one state, for me anyway, it was a physical challenge, likes of which I've never had. But that's what I knew I was getting into when I started, so I take certainly responsibility for that, and I ultimately feel like after coming very close to quitting, when I after reaching Fort Montgomery, Bear Mountain, Fort Montgomery, and thinking, can I continue? I feel like this experience really did help me to tap into resources of endurance and confidence and passion that it's good to be reminded that one has. The trail certainly offered a great deal of challenge physically, but it also did offer certainly its moments of beauty and variety. And I also found that there's an expression that the trail, how's it go? The trail provides. That's a common thing you hear with these thru hikers. And I did find, it seems to me, that when I needed things, whether it be water, a resource like that, food, water, shelter, or whether it be a bit of companionship, that it almost invariably that things did happen and present themselves to enable me to obtain those needs. And that's one of the things I did think a lot about. What are our basic human needs? What do we need to, not just to survive, but to thrive, to be fully human? And that's something I want to continue thinking about. This trail really kind of strips you down to needs and reminds you that that's what some of those needs are, and being part of a community, meeting your basic physical needs, being out in the air, in nature, I think is a need, a human need, feeling connected to the environment, and so on. So I'll continue thinking about these things, and hopefully I will continue on my Appalachian Trail journeys, and I thank you for joining me.